challenges of rebuilding ruins to create homes fit for the future. Beyond Ballyvaughan village to the north of County Clare, I'm following the road uphill through the barren limestone landscape of the Burren on an October morning. On the highlands clipped by horses and hardy cattle, off the road and down a lane, I'm meeting Galway restaurateur Evan McNamara. Originally from County Donegal, Evan has hatched a plan to leave the buzz of Galway City in favour of a dilapidated herdsman's cottage, exposed to the elements in this rocky nowhere land.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Lovely to meet you.
Are you well?
Brilliant.
Beautiful home.
Beautiful home. Well, it will be beautiful. Yeah. I suppose it's more about what's outside than really the home. I think the home is about what you see beyond the house, in a sense, you know.
We're very isolated.
Isn't it brilliant?
Oh, I don't know.
I love the isolation.
Do you?
Yes.
Oh, what would you do now for a pint of milk, you know?
After working in restaurants for 30 years, Evan is looking forward to Burren quietness. But the move will mark a significant lifestyle change for her and her teenage son.
Only. So, 1930s, this was built.
Yeah. There was a man called Patrick living here for probably 30, 40 years. We bought the house from his sisters and he passed away. The old man's old mobile phone was there, his clothes were there, his bottle of whiskey.
Wow.
Crockery and everything.
And you keep all that?
We have his mobile phone and the crockery. I let go of the suit. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe best.
Yeah.
Evan bought the place in June 2021. COVID held up her restoration plan, but last month work began at last, stripping off the damaged roof and unsavable windows and laying down the foundation for a new extension.
So, how much land is with it?
32 acres and a beautiful hazel forest and beehives.
And beehive, great, love it.
Yeah.
Evan's been growing vegetables here for her restaurant for months. She's also setting out to make her new home sustainable.
So biodiversity is the key.
Super.
And this will be, we hope, the most low intervention possible, an eco-architect. So the least kind of impact on the environment.
Okay, and the least impact on the land.
We would have loved to have had a composting toilet situation. I know.
The herdsman's cottage was made up of 3 rooms, with a lean-to the side and a porch to the front. Evan plans to construct a simple modern extension at the back of the old cottage to matching dimensions linked by a short glass corridor. Her bedroom will be to the right of the front door, with a bathroom to the left, and the lean-to will become a utility. Her son, Oni's bedroom, will be in the mezzanine above, reached by new stairs. In the extension, a simple strip of kitchen will face towards the track through a rectangular window, with a long table alongside. A stove will warm the cosy living area at the far end.
Where are you putting your bath, Dad?
Your roll-top bath, which you saw on the way in,
Yeah.
will go there.
Which way? What way is
So
it?
to go this way, I think.
Oh. Well, personally,
Yeah.
I think it should go here.
This cottage is surrounded by extraordinary vistas, which should be soaked up at every opportunity.
So, either you enjoy that view,
Okay.
or you want to grab that view.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to put in the roll-top bath, which is fabulous,
Yes, fabulous.
you want to sit in it and look out, and you want to, I love baths like that.
Yeah.
Because I love seaweed baths.
And do you gather your own seaweed?
I haven't got that far, so you should put a shower in.
But then we lose more space.
You don't. You have a mass. Look at the size of it. You could
It
have a
looks so
party
small
in-
to me.
You could have a party in
Oh, we
here.
hope so.
Evan's looking forward to parties in the bathroom, but for the bedroom, she's aiming for serenity.
Where are you putting your bed?
I'm a great one for putting a bed in a corner.
Oh.
to create more space.
But you got a massive bedroom.
So I could put it in the middle, but I feel you lose space by putting it in the middle.
Yeah, I'm just. I don't.
Yeah, no, I'm
just-
listening. I'm
yeah,
listening.
yeah. What's my colour scheme?
No
Isn't
more
it?
turning. It's all.
Don't say it. I can feel it.
What I want is.
Yeah.
I think that we all live in a very cluttered situation. So
Yeah.
when I want to come here, I want nothing.
Nothing.
So everything white, everything minimal. In my bedroom, just a very simple bed and one flower and one book. Yeah.
The same book, or did you change the book?
Possibly changed, but I mean.
Do you know what I mean? Like, does the book just stay there, or you know? Like, oh, one book.
So are you against the white idea?
Yeah, you know me.
Okay.
I can see a playful creativity in Evan, which I'm enjoying. She studied art, and from her first cafe to her latest venture, slow fashion company, the Tweed Project, she's had an eye for pared-back design, individuality and local crafts. So, walking in here, and I have a ginormous room. I hope that her modern extension will err on the cosy side of pared back. Lovely big room,
Yeah.
the size of a big one-bedroom apartment. Massive,
Massive.
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 So what's going on this now?
Beautiful window looking out.
What's the finish?
On the outside or the inside?
on the outside.
Probably that corrugation.
But like in a barn.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and what colour is it?
Well, I was hoping for the Icelandic red with the
Yeah.
black.
Lipstick red roof on a black building.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
Right.
Okay, now let's and I have a big window here. Beautiful view. Okay? And I'm going to walk this.
Walk this way.
Here I am. Is that okay? So I'm now in the living area, and my window, my beautiful picture window,
Yeah.
is here.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me what you're looking at.
The next door neighbour's house.
That's good, isn't it?
Maybe not. True, true. Yeah,
Yeah.
better to look at the hawthorn
Indeed. And it's so beautiful.
and it will bring more light in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's lovely. Look at it.
Yeah. Jesus, you're very clever.
I think what you should be doing is somewhere here is where your potbelly stove should go.
But I don't think it's good to have a potbelly stove beside a big opening
Why?
because that needs to be a whoosh. And
What?
A whoosh.
What's a whoosh?
This kind of thing.
But where am I whooshing to?
Anywhere you want.
No, but I'm going to whoosh over there.
I know, but this expanse, darling, is blocked by the structureness of the
But
potbelly
hold on a
stove.
second, hold
it
on,
can
hold
easily
on,
go
come
over
here.
here.
Where to be whooshy is subjective, but the budget isn't. So you bought the property for how much?
170,000.
So you got your planning, COVID came along, all that interruption, and you started your construction work. And how long is your building program?
Well, I'm hoping we'll be done by June of next year.
Great. And your budget to do this work?
About 280.
280. Which sounds a huge amount of money, but it isn't. So
Not in
you-
this day and age.
No, so you're going to have to be very diligent about your budget and your materials and the finishes you want to use.
But I like quite a simple finish anyway.
You may like it simple,
Yeah.
but you like quality.
Yeah, well, I do, yes.
You do like quality.
I do,
Yeah.
yes.
Quality costs money. And you're very lucky because you only have one book, so you don't need a bookcase. Do you know what I mean? You don't need frivolous things like that.
No, no.
You know what I mean?
No, no.
So that's
Minimalist,
great.
minimalist.
Minimal,
I'm a
yay.
minimalist.
Avan has set herself 8 months before she puts her solitary book on her minimalist bookshelf and moves in. Within a month, the project has moved forward fast, with blockwork laid in the new extension. Avan's contractor, local man John Canole, is keen to get a roof on the building as soon as possible. Exposure to the elements is putting the cottage's old walls at risk.
My name is John. I'm building around this area for over 40 years. I only live 5 miles down the road, and sure, it's lovely to see all these places being reoccupied, and it brings new life into the place, and new people, and it's good for an area, Now there are very few of them left idle now, and that's the good of it, they're all being bought up and being refurbished, and and young families living in them, so that's great. It's great for the area, Planning is so difficult to get in the Burren. that any cottage that comes up for sale, and even the ones that aren't for sale, are being chased.
Avan's isolated cottage was constructed by Ballyvaughan Rural District Council and was leased to Patrick Leary, a local herder, grandfather to the last occupant. Cottages of the same prototype dot the surrounding countryside. Funds for houses like this were made possible by the Land Commission, which allowed tenants to buy their homes. This was a revolution in home ownership and living standards. At Avan's cottage in December, the old building is about to double in size.
Our plan today is to lift in big stud walls for the gables. We'll put in the gables, and then we'll put on the ridge beam, and then we're going to cut in the rafters for the main roof structure. And that's a slow enough process because it's not that straightforward a roof to do.
While the extension takes shape, I've invited Avan to visit a cottage with me on the opposite side of the country in rural Wicklow, so I can get a stronger sense of her design plans.
Yeah, I love the terracotta. Fantastic. Thank you so much for opening the door. Fabulous.
Isn't this just great?
Gorgeous.
Lovely space, but we're going to start in the sitting room.
Fabulous.
So I brought you here because I love the idea that from the outside, the cottage is very much as it was, the stone and the lovely slate on the roof. But when you come inside, it's exceptionally contemporary.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, you're challenging people. They're expecting something, and then it's something else.
Avan's planning on maintaining her cottage's original exterior design, but inside, she's aiming for minimalism.
The actual colour of the floor finish is just fabulous.
Yes,
Beautiful.
really lovely. And again, it sits in really well with the dark wood that's predominant everywhere, you know. We love the herringbone, and then the rug works really well with that.
But you're not going for a herringbone?
No, I find it too busy for me. It's really good in this space, but it's too busy for me. I'm a firm believer in plain white walls and pretty plain floors so that you can do your pops of colour, your pieces of art, and that's where you shine. Otherwise, things just get so busy, and I don't like that. I really like the sockets, and they match the colour of the door. Again, they fit in. I was looking at red ones, Hugh.
No, don't do red. No, please don't do that. You'll wake up one morning and you'll just be horrified. You'll be screaming at yourself. So, let's go to the kitchen.
Fantastic.
Again, we've got great floor finishes in terms of texture and colour. Simple kitchen in dark tones. And the bathroom is very successful. The scale of it, the amount of light coming in.
I think bathrooms are largely an afterthought for people, but they are a hugely significant room, and if they're expansive and they have this sense of light and space, it's fantastic. And that room has it in spades. These open plan showers are super.
And is that what you're doing?
I'm not doing an actual shower. I'm doing the shower over the bath.
Oh, with the plastic curtain.
Not plastic. Maybe linen.
I'm
but
looking forward to that.
I think it'll be great. I think it'll be great. And if you desperately need an actual shower, you can have it outside, cold, beside the sauna. No problem.
It's no... Oh, no, you'll have to get the heat. You'll have to get the hot tap out there.
No, Jenny, it's just the cold. The hot will be in the sauna.
Oh, lovely.
And the plunge, rainwater, Victorian bath outside.
So you're moving the Victorian bath, so you're going to use that as your ice bath.
Ice bath, exactly.
Lovely.
With natural brown water.
Despite my best efforts, Avan's grow for hardy minimalism remains firmly unshaken. On site, New Year dawns after a month of frost. But there's no stopping John and his team.
It has been going well, but the weather has been ferociously bad. December was the worst December I ever put down, and there is no shelter here from any side. So, yeah, and we're totally exposed to it. But more weather like this, to be fine. You won't get better than this for January, for putting on a roof, you know. No, we haven't seen Yvonne that much the run up to Christmas. Obviously, with her business in Galway, she's busy at that Christmas time. But She's coming to on site today, so that'll be great.
After a busy Christmas in the restaurant, Mother Christmas arrives, a vision in pink.
Now, I have presents. It's got a nice peak in it, the ceiling, the roof.
Ivan wants the two cottage roofs to match one another, to blend the old with the new.
This is lovely. Great. And we'll do a different coloured RSJ up there.
But Ivan wants to mark modernity with a strip of colour in the new roof's steel beam.
Pink?
No, because the stove will be orange. We'll see.
Before the orange stove can be fitted, John needs to know its location so he can fit a flue into the roof.
I need an accurate position for that now.
So that involves coming back on my orange stove. Can you give them a nudge?
They don't nudge very well now.
Oh, right. Well, I'll be going to them next Saturday, so...
Okay.
Ivan has a fluid creative planning process, which has served her well in her creative endeavours. But John needs decisions to progress the build.
Give me a while now. I'm too cold to decide that.
You don't need this minute.
No.
Before 6 o'clock will do me.
No. I might need Monday morning. Yeah.
Monday morning will be plenty of time.
Yeah, okay. Well,
But I do need it.
I know.
I need it before I close up this roof.
I know.
We'll have a battle in our hands. More changes coming. That what clients do. It always happens. Always. I've never been on a job that clients don't come with changes like. Yeah.
It's quite a simple house.
It's very simple.
Yeah. Uncomplicated, like myself.
And sometimes they're good ideas like. So we don't mind it generally like. But we have to push back. Otherwise we'd never get a job finished.
While John's team fix the roof joists in place, Ivan gets some headspace in her upcycled glasshouse alongside the cottage to get inspiration for layout decisions and ponder on her priorities.
Main thing is I want the orange stove, which the supplier is like, I don't think it's possible. And I'm like, oh, black. No, I says, I want an orange stove. Okay, we'll have to find you an orange stove, so yeah, that's the attitude.
At the close of the day, a decision on the layout is not the only thing John will need to wait until Monday for.
And I'll pay you on Monday. Please God, I'll do a bit of busking.
The winter sun sets, with Ivan's newly extended cottage's twin roofs form in place. But contractor John will need her design vision to take firm shape before he can make this exposed home the sanctuary she dreams of. Creative restaurateur Ivan McNamara plans to relocate from the heart of Galway City to a herdsman's cottage high on a plateau in the Burren in County Clare.
Initially, I wanted to buy something in the heart of the Burren and to create a retreat for me and for people to go to. Have we ordered those things? Lovely. The beauty is extraordinary. If anything, the love is growing more and more and more.
While Ivan's latest vision takes shape, in the Burren, in the February light, the new windows have arrived. Having the building sealed in marks a key step forward. The bold lipstick red door seals the deal. With spring, production for Ivan's restaurant menu also shoots forward.
We built this glass house last October out of recycled windows, and we have it south facing so we get as much heat as we can during the day. I've sort of been working with Yvonne over the course of a year. I've been teaching her permaculture methods for organic food growing. So she wants to learn as much as possible so that she can grow her own veg for the restaurant, which I think is really lovely.
While clearing back overgrowth, Ivan's team uncovered a series of stone buildings in the valley below the house. Ivan's meeting Clareman, oral historian, Dr. Tomás Conmara among the rooms.
It's really wonderful to be here in this space and to talk to you about the history of it, because it's probably one of those places in the country that has a depth of history that is unrivaled.
The local townland name, Liscoogan, hints at a long history of humans making homes here.
Could you break down Liscoogan?
Well, Lis
Yeah.
is a Lis or a rat
Yeah.
will immediately tell you that there are ring forts within
Yes.
the area, and that again is evidence of at least a 2,000 year inhabitation of the area.
Records show families living in these ruins throughout the 19th century.
We know in the 1870s that the O'Leary family move into Liscoogan.
The O'Learys were the great-grandparents of Patrick Leary, Avan's cottage's last owner. Despite living through the horror of the famine, Patrick's great-grandparents reached the grand old ages of 102 and 95.
So
It's funny when the mortality rate was so significant at that time and so high that they were able to live so long. That's kind of unusual at that time. But anyway, I mean,
well, you see, it's funny. It's only unusual when you start to see, life being sort of channeled into forms of existence, which maybe are away from what was the natural order for centuries and centuries. Whenever land becomes more within the grip of individuals and they can decide on rents, they can decide on the expectations of the people living on that land, and more pressure is put on individuals living in the place than is necessary. That's when
Stress.
difficulties arise.
The Radical Land Acts, which led to the building of Avan's cottage, allowed the O'Learys and land workers around the country to own their own homes for the first time.
So in 1912, it seems that this place was purchased by the Rural District Council. So that's the time when the family moved from this valley up to the house that you're now developing
in 1930.
in 1912.
The house is 20 years older than Avan realised.
When we think back to the original settlers, 5,800 years ago, back to the Neolithic period, when farmers and families settled in the area, began to work in communion with this landscape all around us, right up until the last 50 years, it was almost the same existence. I think it's wonderful what you're doing. Your vision for sustainability and slow food and all of that is connecting back to that relationship between existence here and the landscape of the Burren.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose, thank you for that, darling. And I suppose, I feel like for me personally, I'm 50 now, and so, and now actually I just want to retreat back into the very simple life of milking the goats and gathering the eggs and making the nettle soup and gathering the hazelnuts, which I can see here, and just pulling it right back, because actually I've been there and now I can see this doesn't really give a whole lot, and actually I want to go way further back than almost where I started.
Back up the valley on a grey March day, Avan's invited her architect, Mike Haslam, to meet John on site with her.
How are you getting on?
Grace, will you use the ramp?
I thought I'd make a jump for it. The windows are in.
Yes.
Jesus, and here I was thinking that he was doing nothing. And he's the famous Mike here.
Yes.
And the doors are in, and you have my door dirty already.
Correct. You can pull that off if you wish.
And what's it
Will I
called?
take off a
Anthrite.
Anthracite.
Anthracite. What do you think, Mike?
Yep, good. No, it's a good call.
Jesus, wow. I have some kind of new ideas that are fabulous for me, but annoying for them. So,
All right.
I've been watching too many of these Apple TV home things, right? And I want to do, because there's so much space here, and I know you're going to kill me, but I'd love to do a little mezzanine there with architectural gauze. Not much. This one over, very, very simple.
This is a whole new second mezzanine.
Well, the mezzanine was certainly new. I had not heard about that before, that's for sure. I'm not surprised by that in some respects, not just because of Ivan, but also as people see the spaces, they haven't maybe imagined them fully before from paper. So when they see them and they're walking in them, they're going, well, look, could we do this? Or whatever it happens to be, or in this particular case, it's potential mezzanine.
You know, it's a beautiful house. It's a kind of a regular house. These are the little elements that will make this a little bit more wowy.
Yeah.
You know, that's all. And also create a little bit more space.
Oh, absolutely, you have to go with the flow because it's their money and it's their project. If they want to, if in their mind improve it or change it, well, it's their prerogative, like. So it gives them a lot of leeway in that, like, and you have to. But there's also a time when you have to say stop.
What about decision times on all of this? Because
Yes.
John will not want that.
We need those decisions
yeah.
yesterday, last week, the week before.
So it's just a bed box here, darling. That.
Running across.
No, yeah. So from the top.
Not
of that,
all the way. So
John needs a van to make decisions on more practical items.
as a box. If you did it all the way up, it would become something else. It's like a suspended bed box.
Suspended bed boxes aside, John needs a van to make decisions on more practical items.
Well, we need the electrics. The electrics, it holds up everything. So we really can't proceed much further without the electrics, like. Of going forward, then we need information for the sanitary ware, like, because that has to be chosen so that we can pipe it correctly, like. And, you know, there's a stove to go in, so we need that stove so we can do the roof. So we're really at a standstill now until we get all those. It's always a little frustrating. It's very hard to instill on a client how important these decisions are, that they come timely.
With new ideas still emerging, work continues, with corrugated roof sheeting going on and the air tightness membrane being fitted. I've decided to visit to see if I can help to bridge Van and John's different approaches and come to an agreement about exterior finishes.
Hello, darling.
Hello, darling.
And how are we?
Well, how can we be on a day like today?
You're looking fabulous.
Oh, great to see you.
Huh?
Great to see you.
So you've made huge progress.
Yeah. I suppose the biggest progress is the windows and doors. How do you feel about them?
Well, no, I think it looks fabulous.
Okay, yeah. The red roof, you like?
Oh, at the back?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Great.
Just wonderful. So when do you hope to be in?
June.
No.
Yes.
June's only 3 months away.
Well, we'll probably do the outhouses around then, but we can get in then.
Isn't that fantastic?
Great, yeah.
So
In
you
for
get
the summer.
You get for the summer.
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant, wouldn't it? A very short build.
Very short, but you're such a fantastic builder.
And look who's arrived.
The builder.
John.
Hugh, how are you doing?
I'm fabulous. Come over here.
Welcome to the Burren.
Come over here now, John.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I hope now today you're not going to put any more daft ideas into this woman's head.
Me?
Yes.
Sure, I wouldn't put a daft idea in anyone's head.
She had a very big long list after you were here the last time, lad.
So tell us now, the outside of the house, what? Lime rendered?
Lime render.
Right. And what
Dash-
happens to
a dash
the
finish.
dash
Well,
lime
that's not
rendered?
confirmed, darling.
Is
You
it
think
a
that-
light dash? Not a heavy.
Oh, very light.
That's
Very,
fine.
very light.
Yeah, do that.
Very light.
Okay.
To be very traditional in these old houses.
See, I would like it to look all the same, but the architect wants it to be looking like it was old and this is new.
He's correct.
Yeah, okay.
correct.
And John thinks the same.
Yes.
Oh God, I'm outnumbered.
You are.
Aye, aye.
Oh Jesus, I love being outnumbered.
Well, let's go inside now and have a look at it. Come on.
Is John coming with us?
Sure, now that we have him.
Exactly.
So this is a great little area, and then this is like going to capture all the sun.
Yes. Pure sun trap.
It's fabulous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, what's my finish on that wall?
So that's the yes.
Smooth plaster. Oh. Smooth plaster.
Ultimately, I would love a tar finish.
What's going on about tar?
I'll show you. It's
Really what you're talking about? Black corrugation. I'd
Yeah.
say.
Yes, that's what
She's
I
called a
love.
tar, black corrugation.
Oh,
that-
yeah.
yeah.
Well, why don't you do that?
Because it's another 10 grand. On both
you
that
might
is.
have to cook him another dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
She hasn't cooked me
Happily.
any dinner yet.
Happily.
See, that's the problem.
See,
I haven't been able to get a table
jeez.
in Arbia.
That's the problem. Would you not now give the poor man
We
a
will, of
table?
course, easily. So, I think corrugation is more interesting.
I think it'd be fun.
Yeah. Okay. Will we price that up now?
It's May, and the Burren's alive with light and flowers. John must have been granted the Van's best restaurant table. Work's flying ahead in the cottage, with first fix electrics complete, plumbing underway, and flooring and skirtings being fitted. A van's on site to tend the gardens. With the summer growth, the house is taking form.
Plaster starting tomorrow.
Yes.
Outside.
Wow.
Outside, yeah.
Outside.
And the weather's promised good, so.
Good, my darling.
But Yvonne always has some new ideas up her sleeve.
And you know something what I was thinking now, don't kill me. Didn't we talk about 2 electrical shootouts here?
No.
No, I know we talked about this. Okay, so that's the overriding thing, nothing here.
Well, just you can't have both.
I know, just asking.
Each one more unconventional than the next.
And then it goes over there in a kind of architectural mesh in white, darling. My friend Gavin will make it. And then it'll come down here and it'll be a metal stairs. I have a vision for the house that's in my head and it's all coming together. But with someone like John, he wants an immediate kind of response. And I'm not interested in working like that. But I'm not rushing anything. I need to think about things properly, you know, because you're going to live with them forever. So it's very critical.
Debate continues outside.
Where can we put a water harvesting tank?
You tell me. I thought you had this all worked out.
No.
Okay.
We planned it originally and costed it. And it kind of blew the budget a bit, like.
Okay. But is it something we can add later?
We can add later if we make allowances for the future work, like. Now.
This pair and the project itself appear to thrive on sparks.
I might win. Yes.
It isn't about winning and losing.
It's about choices.
For all the dynamic friction and fluid planning, Yvonne has developed a strong vision for her home.
Yeah, so very much inspired by Derek Jarman's Prospect Cottage in Dungeness in southern England.
Derek Jarman was an artist and filmmaker who came to fame in the punk era and built a house on a desolate stretch of shingle on England's south coast.
So black I love because it's a nod to Derek Jarman's house and that location, and it sits well into the landscape. It's not jarring and it will work with the red roof. I know you're not keen, but I don't care.
But what black? Black, brown, black?
No, black.
Yeah, but you should introduce a black brown, I think.
I know you said that, but I'm not listening to you.
I've come to love and accept that Yvonne is unlikely to listen to me, or perhaps anyone. 3 weeks after Mike, the architect's visit, it's June, Yvonne's planned deadline for moving in. I've popped out to the yet more verdant Burren to see if any of our last batch of ideas came to fruition. Lots of progress?
I mean, I feel there's lots of progress.
Do you?
Maybe you don't, but I do. They're working a lot on the exterior buildings. So the bed shed is over there.
Bed shed?
Yeah.
Oh. Yvonne's come up with another new plan and added doing up a shed to the list. So tell us now, the roof's not on yet.
Yeah. Not yet.
Yeah.
But I think the tiles are somewhere.
Somewhere. Right.
There.
Oh, okay,
And
yeah.
there. So that's positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were there the last time I was
Yeah.
here.
See, I work on positivity, you know, and, you know.
I understand that, but it would be nice to have the roof on, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So, Yvonne, where's the progress?
I know. Well, see, I see the progress. But now that you're saying where's the progress, I'm a bit worried.
What's happened? For 3 months. I don't know. I don't know.
And when do you want to be in?
In August.
You know?
So it's now mid-June.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 weeks.
Yeah.
A finish date of August adds a 2-month leap to the timeline.
You're disappointed. It's okay. It's okay.
No, I'm not. I know that you're a perfectionist.
Yes.
And that, you know, I'm sure you've said 1 or 2 small changes to the builder.
I'm pushing for practical progress, but creative Yvonne is still coming up with new ideas.
How do you feel about the climbing wall?
What climbing wall? What do you mean the climbing wall? Where's the climbing wall?
So I was thinking it here because it's the only place that you could climb then up there. That could be doable, couldn't it?
Who's climbing the wall?
Only. But it will have this lovely.
It's not to get away from you. It's not to get away.
So in my
Poor Oni is going to be hanging up there when the guests arrive.
No, it's an exercise thing. Dave.
Oh, it's for exercise.
Yeah. You know climbing walls.
Yeah, but really.
Well, why not? I thought we'd either do a swing or a climbing wall. But the climbing wall would be in red, yellow, green, blue.
Lovely.
I know I work very differently from the builder, John Canole, who I admire very much, but he'll blame it on me being slow with decisions.
We finally found. Now we found out what the problem is. Well, it's just very important you both get on the same railway line.
We are on the same railway line.
We were. Yeah, but you need to start going in the same direction
Well, we
at
were
the
on
same,
a
same speed. You have to go in the same
different
speed.
trains there for a while. But we're now in the same carriage.
Oh, Jesus, wonderful. You're going to be in August.
Yeah, either in or in the camper van.
In the camper van.
Probably kind of finishing things off.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's good.
That's good.
Okay.
It'll be beautiful. It'll be
the
fabulous. Bahamas out here. It'll be lovely.
Well, it is today.
It is.
It's amazing.
It's gorgeous.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Oni.
Oni, that's right.
Very nice to meet you. You're
Oni,
well?
Nice to meet you. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. And you enjoy it?
I do. I love it. I'm very happy. I'm very lucky.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And your mother's mad as a hatter.
Mad.
Which helps no end. Right? It's great to meet this cottage's other future inhabitant. But before they move in, they need to get pragmatic. Great to see progress, but in my opinion, a little slow.
Yes.
And if you're to achieve your desired date, you need to start talking to John and giving him firm decisions and not adding any new surprises. I hope when I next return, Oni and Ivan will be in their finished home, clambering the climbing wall. But unless Ivan can stop adding new ideas, I've a feeling I'll be joining them for a cuppa in their camper van. In the meantime, with Galway's summer tourist season at its height, Ivan's off-site. The exterior's nearing completion and the electrics are in without the planned red sockets. To bring Ivan's bespoke vision into being, as July comes to a close, carpenter Eric Plotchiniak is at the Burren. He's living in his van on site.
So that's the stairs I have built, like they're kind of very unusual shape.
A metal worker will add a bespoke grille handrail as a further unique touch. With August, Ivan has decided to extend restorations to a ruined barn, which she wants to use as a jam shed. Unless she stops adding new ideas, I'm concerned that this homestead will remain deeply individual, but absolutely unfinished.
First day of spring.
High on the limestone hills of County Clare, summer has stretched itself into September, and after the bleak winter behind them, the burn flowers are out unusually late. I've hit the high road to find out whether creative Ivan has set aside her litany of new ideas and finished her herdsman's hideaway. The bed shed and jam shed's roofs are on. There's no bleak black exterior at the front, but Ivan's bright.
Welcome!
Hello, darling. Fancy meeting you here.
Great to see you
Lovely
as
to see
usual.
You're
Welcome.
looking super.
And you?
And what's on inside?
Well, the house is finished.
The front of the house looks plain and purposeful, but stepping inside, I'm feeling the whoosh.
Here you go.
Wow, look at that. Oh, isn't that super? From the front door, there's a view down the new extension and beyond. First stop on the house tour is Ivan's bedroom, with the high bed resolutely in a corner as per Ivan's day one plan. I love this. Look at the height of the bed, Ivan.
Yeah, it's even taller than I suspected.
Huh?
Yeah. We didn't have the stairs up until last week, and I thought we could do with the stairs.
I think you definitely need the stairs.
Yes.
But one plan has changed. Now, I do see you haven't got the book yet.
No, I'm working on that.
I think you should work your way up to the book.
Yeah.
And make sure it's a bit of colour on the cover. Ivan has offset white walls with the pared back bonine of her curtains.
with their ochre stitching, which is picked up in the colour of the sidelight. Coming in here, simplicity rules. I love the curtains.
My beautiful seamstress who did this kind of zigzagging that has this kind of 1920s kind of notion, you know, but everything is customised. This is the culmination of many people's efforts. It's not just me.
Well said.
And then I love the sliding doors.
Yeah, isn't that great?
And so when nobody's in here, then we close those and it continues, the hall continues straight to the whoosh.
The whoosh?
The whoosh, which
We'll have to see the whoosh. I'm all excited about the whoosh, darling. Well, we will continue our journey.
Let's do it.
The ochre pops step up to a bold yellow in the hall where mesh banisters, devised by metal worker Alan Smith, lead up to Oni's mezzanine. Eric built the bed here, and there's another wonderful view from the window.
You know, when you're looking at a home like this, you really have squeezed every inch, haven't you?
Well, I like to utilise, not to lose space, but utilise space.
Architect Mike Haslam's alternate half steps were designed to fit in where there was no room for a run-of-the-mill staircase.
When I look at the staircase, I couldn't quite understand what you were trying to do. But now that I see it, I think it's fabulous. And I find this arrangement just terrific. Like it works, doesn't it?
It works. To be honest, it wasn't my idea. It was what the architect would sign off on. And in terms of the architectural mesh, I had wanted the holes to be bigger so that it would look less busy. So I was a little bit concerned about that, but it's perfect.
And I love the way there's no support.
Yeah, and that's kind of nice for cleaning because there's a sense of space.
Yeah, but it also makes the staircase light.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful work.
Light, white and yellow.
The elevating brightness of the colour combination continues in the bathroom, where the square white tiles and the yellow grouting nod to the 1980s. This is a loo with a view and a relaxing spot for clutter-free bathing. The basin stand, also by Alan Smith, references the industrial stairs outside. And so to the extension, now home to the kitchen, dining area and a sitting space around the brand new stove.
Look at the size of this room and the height. Here I have two magnificent views in either direction, and then I have this magnificent view.
The second mezzanine and the climbing wall never happened. Anna Van made changes when it came to the colour of her stove and the dramatic steel beam overhead.
And I believe you were going to have a yellow beam.
So I kind of sat in with the red of the table being the red that emanates out. And then it's the red of the doors now. So there's a continuity outside to inside and the colour of the roof outside. But I'll be bringing in lots more red elements.
What more?
So I'm going to get a floating cabinet that's in the same red. And then there'll be a pivot light in a red as well. But that's it.
I just wonder, it'd be nice to introduce another primary colour.
I'm not going to bring in another primary.
Tweaks aside, a van remains unbendable.
When you come here as you drive from Galway or Cork, you come here to declutter your mind and to relax and to connect with nature. So if you had like crazy wallpaper, it wouldn't really feel right.
But throughout the house, although I'm no minimalist, I can see everything does indeed look right. A van's simple, carefully thought out styling and John's skillful execution of the project has made for a home as stripped back and contemplative as its surroundings.
When I met John and yourself, I was fascinated because it was sort of, you'd say, oh, I'd like this, and John say, well, we're doing that. And you were just going, how on earth did the two of you get on?
I definitely feel he was frustrated with me initially. But I don't care.
How could that be? That's not possible. How could anybody be frustrated by you in the name of goodness, girl?
And I think then after a while, the grow increased and the respect increased. John and I kind of found our way. I mean, we're very different people, but I have enormous respect for him. The integrity of his work and the work of all the people that work with him is amazing. I actually like a bit of resistance. I just, push through it.
In my opinion, you wouldn't have this home without your relationship with John.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph, it has been said. And as I step outside into the uninterrupted Burren views and soak in the arresting grey and red rear of the building, I'm convinced. Ivan was lucky to be able to find land, let alone property, in this celebrated location.
You bought the property 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
For how much you pay?
170.
And you've
32 acres.
So you've that lovely valley in front of you.
Yeah.
Great. Mm-hmm. And your initial budget was how much?
I think it came in at 480 and I asked him to slice it, and I think it then went to 360, but then with the outhouses it went back to 480.
Ivan plans to transform the bed shed into a sleeping space in the months ahead. There's still the sauna to complete, and who knows what new ideas lie ahead.
So I suppose the key thing here is a kind of biodiversity project as well with the bees. And even though the garden looks fairly small, the production is quite massive, particularly this time of year. And that's producing really beautiful vegetables for the restaurant. That's an income stream.
Like those who lived and thrived in the valley before her, the land here is sustaining Ivan, and she's enriching it.
But it really is a symbiotic relationship you have with the landscape in terms of everything you're doing is sustainable. This was about you respecting the buildings, the walls, the sheds, the paddock. And if you like, then on top of that, you've also engaged with the land. Because you're growing your vegetables, you have your herb garden.
Absolutely, and there's so much joy in all of that. I work in slow food, slow fashion, and this represents slow living. So it's like a trilogy of the things that really matter to me.
Ivan found this spot to get away from the world. But the stark and serene home she's created can't fail but attract people in.
Now I'm officially sick of my own voice. Oh, thank you.
To mark her project coming into flower, Ivan's renamed it.
Going through the door, there's that whoosh that Ivan talks about. And the reason that it's so good is because of her adversarial relationship with John. Together they come to a compromise. And because they did, that's why this restoration and extension is so successful.
Ivan is very direct, and so am I. And I think that works. There's no point in thinking something when you're involved in something like this and not just coming out with it. We have to be honest if you're going to be successful at the end of the day. And it's been a giant effort. And we had a guiding hand.
There's even more interior inspiration coming our way this week, courtesy of the brand new series of Home of the Year. 21 delightful dwellings will be vying for the coveted accolade. It starts Tuesday night at 8:30 here on RTE1 and RTE Player, and there's even a new judge to give Hugh a run for his money.